Thanks for joining us on the website, DaveO'HaraSports.com. Again, Fight with Flash Foundation via Facebook or fightwithflash.org. It's Craig and Stacy Schrader, adorned with the great earrings as always. Craig's got the Fight with Flash Foundation shirt. And the reason I mention those things, besides looking great as always, go to the website again, as I mentioned, fightwithflash.org, and you can pick up all of that apparel. So many other things there. If I begin to tell you, we'll run out of time, so just go. First and foremost, as always, thanks for joining us. And Stacy, you've got a lot to discuss. It's game week for the Hawkeyes, but we're pre-game week, darn near game week for the golf tourney. And then Craig's got a great story for us. So I'm going to start with you this week. Let's talk about that tourney and everything going on around it, please.
Yes, that's right. So Friday, September 10th, coming up here, is our Fight with Flash Charity Golf Classic. We're super excited about, and hearing that the weather's going to be in the 70s, so
Fingers
that would
crossed.
be good too. But if people can't be there, I want to share and make sure that people know that we are going to have a lot of awesome auction items for people, and you don't have to be there to purchase. We will have an app, we'll have all our social media out there for people to be able to purchase any auction items that they want throughout the entire day. So it'll be good.
Cannot wait. So as you see this on Friday on television or online afterwards, 7 days and counting. So depending when you see this, it could be right upon the date. But also then we'll have one more chance to promote it next week. And can't wait. And
Yes.
I can see with the smiles you guys are excited. It is your biggest event, as you mentioned, besides
Yes.
a lot of big events. So good luck, Stacy.
Thank you.
And the weather will cooperate, I know. Yes, as you mentioned. So, Craig, you've got a great story for us. You've been sitting on this for a couple of weeks. We've teased it a couple times. It's a lot of reasoning. Again, I always mention why I'm involved or why we're involved here at Dave O'Hara Sports and Hawkeyed, homegrown media with Rob and Abby as well, with Fight with Flash Foundation. And I always mention my friend Joe Mershman. You two have had the pleasure of sitting with Joe and I for lunches. And Joe has always said, when it comes to kids, they always have my heart and my money. But when it comes to cancer, fighting with kids, and fighting cancer for anyone, but kids specifically, I'm in. So I will echo Joe Mershman's sentiments and anything I can do to spread the word and the great work you guys do. But Craig, you've got a great story that dovetails into why you and Stacy are doing what you're doing, but to carry out Austin's wishes as well. So I'm going to step out of the way and let you tell the story, please.
Oh, thanks, Dave. No, I'm just happy to be able to share. This is literally my favorite story that I actually came across during Austin's journey. And there are so many times and moments that it just connects us with Austin and reminds us really who he was and everything else, and reasoning of why. And it's a very, very important, and several people might have heard it, but it starts basically, it's a older gentleman that is walking down the beach, and it's a bright, sunny, hot day, and he's all alone, and he's walking down the beach, and as he looks way up in front of him, and he sees what appears to be a young boy, and the young boy looks like picking something up and throwing stuff back out in the ocean, and the older gentleman's curious, so he gets closer and closer, and as he gets close enough, he realizes that the young boy is picking up starfish and throwing them back out, and so he walks up to the young boy and he says, "Excuse me," he's like, "What are you doing?" And the younger boy, who I like to think that maybe he's about 15 years old, and maybe his name is even Austin.
That's right.
He said, "Well, you see, it's a hot, sunny day, and the tide is out, and there's starfish all over, and if I don't throw them back out in the ocean, that they're going to die." And so the older gentleman looks around and he goes, "Well, there's miles and miles of beach. There's millions of starfish here." He's like, "You could do this all day long and not make a difference." And so the young boy bent down and he picked up a starfish and looked at it and turned and threw it out in the ocean. And he looked at the older gentleman and said, "It mattered to that one." And so for us, understanding as we went through this entire journey with Austin was always worried about everybody else, even after he was given the unfortunate news that he wasn't going to survive. And he was always more worried about everybody else. And as we go through things in life, we might not think that we can make a difference. And I'll tell everybody, every dollar counts. Every dollar gets added to another, and another pile of money, and another pile of money. And every good deed goes and gets added to another one and another one. And everyone matters and we can all make a difference. And if it's just the smallest little thing to start, and you do something and you do something again tomorrow and the next day, it will all build and it all gets added together.
And I will promise you, to both your points and to the great story, Craig, and to Stacy, even when you're talking about with the app, you do one good thing and you do another. It just, like, as you mentioned, it's just the ball starts rolling. So besides the dollars, the good deeds, and I promise you, you'll feel better about yourself. And that's the thing that is still to this day, all the stories we've shared with each other on the air, off the air, with Austin's journey, your journey, that's the one that still blows me away at 15 years old. He had the presence of mind, as sick as he was, to still say, this isn't fair. And I remember you saying, both of you saying to him, well, yeah, you're right, Austin, it's not fair. He's like, no, I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about that little boy or that little girl. That's the takeaway I think everybody should, besides raising funds and trying to eradicate this horrendous disease. I think that's the key that we all need to take away in life is let's try to take care of each other. And as you mentioned, one time, one person, that means the world to them.
Yes,
Absolutely.
that's right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well stated, and that's the mission right there. I don't think it's any more complicated than that. I can't state it any better than that. What a shining example Austin was and is through Craig and Stacy Schrader and the Fight with Flash Foundation, fightwithflash.org, or again, go to Facebook, Fight with Flash Foundation. Golf tournament getting ready, so much to do. Great apparel there, two great people, great cause. Austin Flash Schrader, I still shake my head. A couple of weeks ago on Friday the 13th, August 13th, he would have been 22. So 6 years, and every little bit helps, as Craig and Stacy constantly say. So Craig, Stacy, great to see you as always. Fantastic. Always got the smiles because we're moving positively. Thanks again, both of you.
Thanks, Dave.
Thanks, Dave.
Truly my pleasure. You're welcome, and thank you to Craig and Stacy Schrader. That is our web exclusive for this week, and also stay tuned. We'll have Connor Whites. Will also be another web exclusive we have for this week. Connor is with Zoark Apparel and raising funds through Keegan Murray, and also this week's interview for television with Keith Duncan. And again, all that money going, most of the money for the apparel going to the University of Iowa Stead Family Children's Hospital. So what better cause than that? So for Craig and Stacy Schrader and Fight with Flash Foundation and upcoming with Connor Whites and Zoark, that's all from me. Thanks to all of you.